Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the second season of the Beat Mediocrity Podcast. I'm so glad to have you guys here, back again, or maybe for the very first time, who knows, but I'm just happy that you're here. Also, many thanks to everyone who personally messaged me regarding the very first episode. I'm so glad that you guys are happy that the podcast is back. I'm really happy that the podcast is back. So yeah, we'll try to keep it go as long as possible with a lot of consistency this time. Let's see what happens. But just FYI for all those listeners who are listening to this podcast on the podcast streaming platforms, you can now go and check out the video versions of the podcast as well on our YouTube channel, which is named as Indian Filmcrew. You can go there and check out our beautiful faces as well. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing I just wanted to say is that the episodes come first on YouTube on a Monday, and then the same episode is streamed on all the podcast streaming platforms on a Friday. Hence, if you want to see the episodes first, it comes on YouTube first, and then it comes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all these other platforms. YouTube, it comes in video format on Monday, and podcast platforms, it comes on a Friday. So yeah, that's the basic plan, and we'll try to stick to it as long as possible, and we'll do that. I'm pretty sure we'll do that. Now, about today's episode, the guest that we have with us today is a very well-known name, who is a YouTuber, freelancer, editor, student, and just a very knowledgeable person in general, and a very hardworking person. He is no other than Samy, or more popularly known as Pixel Samy, on YouTube and Instagram. He has been doing YouTube for around 3 years now, and he's just very close to 100k subs on YouTube. So it would be awesome if you guys can go and check out his YouTube channel. If you already don't follow him, please do follow him, and let's make this guy reach 100k before the end of this year. It's a huge goal for him, and I think we can help him reach that. So yes, please do that. He has such great YouTube tutorials, and he gives a lot of free assets that he provides on his YouTube channel, a lot of presets, LUTs, transitions, etc. And he also teaches you on how to create them. So yeah, it's not like he's keeping that knowledge to himself. He's giving you that knowledge too. So it would be worth a follow. I'm pretty sure you will learn tons from him. Also, please don't mind this 2-hour long number on this podcast episode, because this one is a goldmine, and I don't really use this word very loosely. I really mean it. This one is actually a goldmine. I could have cut a lot of parts here, but everything is just pure information. So I would really highly suggest you to go through the whole podcast. I'm pretty sure you will learn tons from this guy. He has this 3 years of journey experience just doing YouTube, but he has been doing videography for quite some time. He talks about everything in the podcast, so you'll listen to that too. We talked about how he earns his living just from YouTube and doing a couple of other freelance gigs that he does. So you will learn about that. Also, he talks about how he sells his presets and transition, how the journey of selling all these assets on the internet happened, and how much does he make from that and whatnot. So he talks about all of the monetary kind of things as well. He goes deep into YouTube analytics, and he gives us a lot of tips on how we can use them very wisely and to our advantage, and tells us why tags are not that important anymore in terms of YouTube searchability. We also talked about YouTube scams that have been happening lately, and he shares his insights on how we can be wary about them. We talked about his experience working with brands, and how he approaches a lot of big brands, or how the brands approach him, and how does the compensation thing works. So many things to talk about here. He also talked about Instagram and how he uses Instagram in a different way from YouTube. He uses Instagram to attract more of a regional audience. I won't expand on it here. You will listen to that in the podcast only. So he has a very different opinion about Instagram and how he. This podcast is basically full of beautiful tips and tricks from Samy, and he shares all of his experience with us. And I just want to say it again that, guys, this one is a goldmine. Remember this word. This one is actually a goldmine. Now, I won't take much time, and we'll get right into the conversation. Hi, Pixel Samy, and welcome to the second season of the Beat Mediocrity Podcast. It's such a privilege to have you here, buddy.
Hey man, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me, first of all. It's a genuine privilege.
The pleasure is all mine, bro. Seriously, means a lot. All right, now, first of all, I have a question for you. What shall I call you? Shall I call you Pixel Samy or Samy, which I guess a lot of people might know that your real name is Samy.
That's very true. My real name is Soumyajit Maiti. I am from India. My YouTube or my Instagram name is Pixel Samy, mostly because my audience is based in US, and Soumyajit is not a name the US people can easily say. Neither they can spell it. Honestly, they cannot spell it. Even it is hard for an Indian to spell it though. So what I did was basically I cut down some of the letters in my words, and it resulted in Samy. And Pixel, we all know Pixel is referred to cameras, megapixels, and all. So it is Pixel underscore Samy.
It's a very
So
beautiful
that,
name, being honest.
thank you,
The
man.
very
Thank
first
you.
time I heard about it, we discussed like the very first time that we got to know each other was basically through one of Daniel Schiffer's video where you submitted your clips for color grade and color creation and something like that. And that's when I heard
Yes,
Pixel Sammy, and
yes.
it really stood out to me. And when I saw the clips that it was from India, so I was like, oh my God, this guy's from India only. So I had to just look you up, and I'm so glad that I looked you up and I found your channel, which is so helpful. But
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for
seriously,
the
bro,
kind words.
seriously, you deserve it all. uh Pixel, Pixel Sammy slash Somajit, before
Yeah,
starting the podcast, it's like a thing that we do, because you do so many things. You create tutorials, you do client work, you have your own shop, and you do so many things. I want you to give a general introduction for the audience who
yeah,
might not know you
definitely,
and what you do,
definitely.
and that's where we are going to get started after.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Pixel Samy. I'm from India. I have a YouTube channel where I mostly post on video editing tutorials on Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro mostly, and sometimes After Effects too. Other than that, I am also a freelance video editor. I do a lot of client work, especially in the field of real estates and wedding. Other than those, I do sell a lot of digital products. I do have a blog, and I do have a lot of things coming up, which I'm sure Karan will say in the later part as well.
For sure.
If you guys are interested in those kind of stuff, then do make sure to subscribe because I'm very close to 100,000 subscribers. I'm currently at 93,000, so 7,000 more to go. Hopefully I will reach it really soon.
Yes, bro, fingers
Yeah,
crossed. I
that's
hope
fine.
that you do it like before this year.
Thanks,
Yes,
man.
best wishes for
Fingers
you.
crossed as well.
True. uh Pixel Sammy, tell me about your YouTube journey. How did you get started into this YouTube thing? And you post so consistently on YouTube, like you're one of the very consistent, the most consistent people that I know of who is on YouTube right now, who posts so often. How did you get started? Why did you get started? What's the end goal for you from YouTube?
Yes, it's a simple Indian story basically. I did not want to do engineering like my parents wanted to. So technically, what I did was after my 12th, I started my channel, and what I did was I started with photography because mostly that time we used to do more photography tutorials and photography shoots and all. Slowly after that, if you look at my previous videos, like my first videos, mostly they were photography tutorials on Photoshop tutorials and all. Slowly and gradually what I did was I started liking the video aspect of it because I was editing videos through those, and slowly and gradually I started liking videos, and I thought that I can show more story than in a video than in a single frame. So from there I started my videography journey. I started learning how to edit in Final Cut Pro. I started with Final Cut Pro, and I slowly learned Premiere Pro with that because some portions are still similar, some are different, but mostly the base is always the same for any editing software out there. So I started with Final Cut Pro. I started learning small effects and all. Anyone starting with any editing software, if you are learning simple keyframing, masking, and simple motion graphics and all, it is pretty much done. You are more or less a good editor if you know what the good shots are. After that, what I did was I started seeing all those different travel videos out there. You all know Sam Colder, right? He is such an inspiration to all the people out there. And what I did was I started breaking down his videos. Slowly and gradually I started making my own efforts, and that is how I am right now today. And slowly and gradually, with making different kinds of efforts and breaking down different kinds of efforts from other people, clients started reaching out to me and telling me that, can you edit the video for us? And slowly and gradually I started my video editing business as well. And right now I do have a lot of clients who reach out to me. Mostly they reach out to me rather than me reaching out to anyone. And they more or less, whenever a client gives me a work, they try to stick with me long term. So I remember the first client I'm still working with the first client who actually hired me. He actually liked my work so much, and we all know that we all evolve with time, right? So my edits from that time till this time are a lot different. They are very much better than the previous ones. And also the client was not a very professional one. He was also growing, so it was a very good journey. Like, it is better to have like a long-term client rather than like one high-paid client. I guess I'll prefer that kind of a bonding better than just, $1,000 work or $2,000 work. I'd rather take $50 or $100 work and develop a bond with a person so that we can stay or work together for a long time. So my end goal will be like, you can say that I want to increase my video editing business a lot, maybe to some extent where I can hire more people and I can give them some amount of work too, because Indian economy is not that good at this moment, especially after COVID, and the job rates are not so good as well. So engineering, architecture, doctor, the situation is not so good in terms of economy. So I do want to give some part to the community too, so that they can also earn a living, or even I want to like hire some people whom I can teach them properly, and they can stand on their own in the future as well. So it can be a part instructor, part businessman, and a part, you know, a digital artist and a digital video editor also. And YouTube is always there with me. So I plan to post tutorials on YouTube long as many days it can go.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
that's
That
me.
sounds great.
Yeah.
And talking about you teaching others, you're already teaching a lot of people, including me. I have learned so many tricks from you and your YouTube channel. And for anyone listening to this or watching this podcast, I really suggest you go to Pixel Sammy's YouTube, and I dare you to finish all the videos that he has posted, because this guy posts so damn much. I'm gonna say this thing like 1,000 times already in this podcast, but please be ready for it because he actually posts a lot. Talking
Yeah.
about you posting a lot, Pixel Sammy,
Yeah.
I have this question for you. Your
Yeah.
consistency on YouTube, and not just on YouTube, or even on, if you're posting a video on YouTube, you have to promote it elsewhere as well and all of that stuff. How do
Yeah.
you maintain this consistency of yours? Because I know, and even you mentioned that you're also a full-time student, so you're studying
Yeah.
architecture.
Yeah. Yeah.
So handling studies, client work, YouTube, and creating so many videos, creating so many transition packs and all these packs and stuff, it takes time. How do you
Yeah.
manage your week? Is there a specific discipline chart that you follow? Is there a timetable that you follow? How does your day look like? And or is it just like that's you, or you just work like anything?
Yeah, so the simple answer will be like, I don't like to procrastinate that much. If I'm wasting time, or if you see me walking around, it is mostly because I'm thinking of something or the other. Maybe it can be college, maybe it can be my YouTube, maybe client work. I Most of the times I think of something or the other, and because of that reason, you can say that I don't like to like waste my time that much. And other than those, for transition paths and all, a lot of people actually ask me this. Actually, making those is easy if you look at it. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, every transition pack in Premiere Pro or in Final Cut Pro are a combination of few effects or the other in permutation or combinations. And in Final Cut Pro, transitions or effects are made in a software called Motion. And in Motion, all the effects which is there, it is not there in Final Cut Pro. So if I can just take one effect from there and just click one save as and save it as a Final Cut Pro plugin, that is
Mm-hmm.
one effect which no one knows, because you cannot edit videos in Motion. You just can create like 5-second thing or 10-second thing. You can create a lot longer version of it, but it is not very user friendly for video editing. You can say that it is an uglier version of After Effects.
Oh my God.
You can say that.
Even
We
uglier
can
than
say
After
that.
Effects.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
imagine
it
how
is
that would look
like,
like.
if you want to like make a 5-second thing, you can do so. 10-second is good. More than, it will be too clumsy there. It is not like a video editing software. It is mostly like a motion graphics software. So if you know what you are doing and if you know the full extent of your resources, you can like create more than 1,000 ones at one go. Because if I create every effect which is there on Motion and not
Mm-hmm.
there in Final Cut Pro, it will be like 100 videos easily. And if I take two effects and mix them one, it is one more effect.
Mm-hmm.
If I take three of them and mix them one, it is one more effect. If I take the first one and the third one, it is one more effect. So a lot of people
For
don't
sure,
know
it's like
this.
a beautiful combination of the permutation and combination thing
Yeah,
that we studied, I guess.
Yeah.
Same.
And in Premiere Pro also it is pretty simple. If you search, there are a bunch of effects, mosaic, there are blurs, channel blurs and all. So if you just mix and match some of them and put keyframes with the effects and all, it is a brand new effect altogether. So that is how basically it is done.
For sure, for
And
sure.
now usually what I do is I usually take my old ones, I take and see what I did, and the effects which I did, I just reverse them, or exponentially increase them or radially decrease them, something. I do some kind of a combination with the keyframes, and it is like a totally different thing altogether. So that is one way to do that too. And you will notice that because of this maintaining consistency, and sometimes usually making a pack of 12 or 20 things sometimes will be a lot of time. So I usually make one of them or two of them at once, and I give it for free, and I make 20 of them. Say I take a month for making 20 of them, and then I sell them. So slowly and gradually, that is how I started my digital store too, where I sell some of my premium transitions and all. Those are basically, I have a free version so that the people can test it out, and if they like it, they can test out the or buy the full version too. So that is a good way to do so. And anyone selling anything, make sure to actually sell a free version of it, because otherwise the people won't know what you are doing, because that person has to trust you a lot to buy that thing, and then they dejected at the end of the day. That is not a good thing.
For sure, for sure.
So
And where can
so
people go and find your transition packs and all these packs that you sell?
yeah, it is always there in the bottom of my YouTube description on every videos. Other than those, there is a website called PayHype where I sell all of them. There are other websites too, like Selfie and all. Selfie is the most common one, and there is PayHip. There is Gumroad. There is a website called Gumroad.
Hmm.
The thing is, I don't like Selfie because it is a subscription-based service, and the subscription is a bit too much. I guess it is like $90 for the premium pack and $30 for the base pack, I guess.
Per month,
Not
you're
sure
saying?
though. Yeah, per month. Like
Oh,
it has
that's
cross
really a
selling
lot.
and all those things.
Okay.
I guess $30 was the starting price per month. It
Hmm.
has various different packages too. So I don't like to spend that much. Especially I won't recommend any beginner to do that,
Hmm.
because you will probably be spending more than you will be earning. So there is no point do so. PayHype is good because it actually cuts a bit of percentage from the amount which you are selling,
Hmm.
and you get the rest of them. That is a good deal, I guess. And for someone who is starting out, that is a good deal, really good deal. And the difference being that the percentage that it cuts, it is a bit more than Selfie, but
Hmm.
even Selfie cuts a percentage plus the subscription fee. So I feel that PayHype is a bit better in that area.
Yeah. And now that it just cuts percentage from your sales, you're at least sure that, okay, if I have not sold anything in this month, which is,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the case at any time, but at least this website won't take any charge from you.
yeah,
So if the business
yeah,
is down, they won't be charging you anything.
yeah,
So that's
exactly.
really good. And that's really insightful, to be honest. I learned a lot of new websites and stuff where I can sell my stuff if I make some someday. Who knows?
Yeah,
Uh, but talking about being insightful and all of this stuff, I really want you to kind of bring in this topic of your one of your video that you created. You created a
yeah,
video where you talked about the fact that how much you earn
yeah,
per month as a
yeah,
20-year-old, and that video really stood out to me because you're so young, and the earning that you're doing, I don't think even like engineers who are established and stuff would be able to do in a month. So that's kind of crazy. Maybe if you want to, people, you should go and watch that video, especially. You'll get an idea. This will inspire you to be a YouTuber and to work hard as Somijit is already doing. He's working really hard for his YouTube channel. You can totally see. Um, but yeah, Somijit, why don't you talk about your several income sources that you have mentioned in the video, and how did you get to that stage of earning and maintaining your monthly
yeah.
income source and stuff?
Okay, so first thing which one should definitely know, that you need to see that even YouTube, although you're creating stuff for your own passion and all, it is also business. You have to look at it that way, because passion is good, everything is good, but uh, if you are just like clicking videos and giving it on the internet, it might not give you a living out of it. You need to think a bit in a business like manner of how to improve your, you know all total revenue. Although I will recommend not to focus on it that much, especially when you are starting, because when you are starting, you should definitely focus on your consistency and your quality of works, because that is very important. No matter what is your age, no matter what you are doing, you need to understand that you have to give things for free at first in order to earn later. This is one of the very important things which I tell a lot of people. There are many people out there who are like much younger than me, just started all of a sudden started selling presets and all, which has no meaning whatsoever. Like 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees. I'm like, dude, no one knows who you are. No one knows what you do. Why will anyone actually want to buy your presets? Tell me. So starting in the starting area, just make sure to develop the trust with the people, especially your audience, because the community is very important. Your customers, future customers, potential customers, your fan base, you can, if you say so, then those are very important people close to you. You need to make sure that they get satisfied with what you are providing them. Otherwise, they are not going to stay. Remember, no one is doing you a favor. They are staying there because they like what you do. Otherwise, if you do something wrong, it is going to be a very gone case. Because remember, if you look at cases like Logan Paul and all, remember that suicide forest thing. It was such a mess of situation. So if you start giving something which is not good for the society, it is going to be a backfire. So starting into the business sector, just if you look at it, I just said that how you sell digital products. So what I did was I started making some free transitions. And what I thought was I took so much effort in making this. So why not just make pack of 10 and pack of 20 and try selling them? I remember I sold my first pack on the first 10 minutes of posting a video. And it was
Wow.
such a good feeling. It was not so costly though. Like it was $7, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like the satisfaction out of it was pretty good. And from there, I decided that I will try to produce as much quality things as possible. And whenever I feel that this is good enough for selling, I sell them. So make sure that you develop that trust. Remember, whenever I started selling when I was around 8,000 subscribers. I did not start to sell when I was just starting. So you need to have a substantial amount of fan base to monetize your stuff. You can try at 1000 subscribers too, but it is of no use. There's no point, because your audience will think that you are here to gain money, not for content. So after a substantial amount of fan base or after a substantial amount of followers, you can do so. My recommendation will be around 7,000 to 8,000 subscribers, of course. So after my digital products, I started getting a lot of messages from other people that, hey, can you like edit my video for me, like for this much charge? Hey, can you like edit my wedding video for me for this much charge? So slowly and gradually, I started earning from video editing. And I started looking at it like, yes, I am having fun in doing this. I'm getting a lot of revenue from this. And I am also learning a lot of things about new cultures and color grading. It was such a good thing. The wedding colors are so damn good looking, I must say. And I was always good at color grading because, as I mentioned before, I used to do photography a lot. Photos and videos are not that different. A bit color variation is there, but if you know how to adjust the colors in a photo, you will know how to adjust the colors in a video. So I used to edit a lot, very different kinds of color tones. So it was pretty easy for me to actually get a kind of a wedding color tone, which I made actually several videos on. There are many videos on Lightroom presets and LUTs and normal color grading tutorials on wedding videos too. I made a lot of them. So there goes my video editing part. I earn a substantial amount of my income from the video editing sector, if you look at it. Other than wedding videos, I make real estate videos, property videos, mostly the promotional ones. I sometimes make Instagram promos, and sometimes I do interview videos. And I do work for two more YouTube channels as a full-time editor. Like the videos are pretty simple. Basically, they give me a voiceover and I find the stock clips from the internet, from Storyblogs, Envato, etc., and just put it there. It is a pretty simple job. So that is where I just brought my entrepreneurial skills into play and thought that, yes, these things are easy. You don't need that much experience to do this. So I can just ask some more people to just do it for me, and in return I can give a percentage of the income to them. Like, hey, I'm actually bringing in the clients, I can take like 40% of it and you keep the 60% of it. You are actually doing the most of the jobs, so why not just do this? So doing those, I actually have like 6 people working for me right now who make only those stock video kind of videos, because those videos are something which you don't need that much experience, but you need time, you need a lot of time to make them. Only difference is one cannot just ask a lot of money from them, because it is something which you don't need any experience for. You just need to understand English. You just need to understand how to search on the internet. That is pretty much it. And click the download button and put it on the timeline. Like, that is something which you don't need that much experience. So this is one sector which has a lot of work, but the returns are not that much. So what I did was, I am actually bringing in the clients. My name can bring in the clients. You guys do the work. I am earning a percentage. You guys are earning the percentage by doing the work. And that is a kind of a business which I started on. And that is still going so far. And the client actually wants like 40 to 50 videos a month. I actually
Okay.
reduce it. I actually told them like, we cannot do that much.
This is great in many ways. How can the listeners who want to apply for a job, and I'm pretty sure, as you mentioned, during the COVID season, not a lot of people
Yeah,
might have jobs.
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
hiring new people for such jobs or no? I mean, can they
At
apply to
this
you?
moment, no. The 6 people are also college students, but they're older than me. They're like 25, 26.
Okay.
Some of them are doing their masters, but they're still like, job problems are always there. So people
I
always need
agree.
some amount of money. And in India, even if you're earning like 10,000 or 20,000 a month for living a decent amount of life, that is a good enough option, especially if you already have a home to live. If you have
Yes.
a home, then more or less the pretty much other things are pretty much done technically. Food
Very
is
true.
not that costly here as it is in Canada, and
Yes.
rent is costly. But if you have a home, then you are actually good to go for a decent living there. So right now I'm not hiring, but maybe we can hire later on, because I had to reject a lot of client works because those client works has a duration of 1 month for this month. But I am a college student, and my who are working for me are also college students, and this is the season for the exams. So I consciously rejected those. I did not want to though, but I had to reject those because it was just not feasible for me to do those, especially because I can easily hire new people easily, but I need to teach them like do this, do that, and it takes a bit of time. At least say 1 week. It needs at least some amount of time to tell them, because not everyone has the same workflow. For
That's true.
workflow, I use a app called Notion. If you, I don't know if you have heard of
Yes,
it.
I've heard of it. Yes.
It is like a team management software. It is so useful. I do it for college, my normal YouTube works, my income, maintaining my taxes, maintaining other important documents, maintaining a normal personal diary, for all the, making the timetables for my client submissions, and who is doing what. That is the most important part, who is doing what.
Hmm.
Like, if there are 6 people and if I mistakenly give the same project to 2 people, it is a huge mess,
Oh,
because
for
they don't
sure.
communicate with each other, right?
Yes.
Like, they don't know exactly who each other are. They just know me, they don't know each other. Like, because I hired them mostly in this COVID season, they are always in their home. They're all for different places, so they don't know who other people are who are working for me. So
Understandable.
they will not be able to tell that, hey, you get this work to that person also, so they won't be able to do that. I have to manage them all. So making a table is very important. Organization is key for maintaining a business, especially if your business is growing a lot. Make sure to keep things organized. It can be a piece of paper, it can be Notion, it can be Asana, it can be Airtable, it can be other places like there are places like, I don't remember the software especially. There are mainly these ones. These are subscription based programs, of course. But if you have a educational email, most of them actually provide this for free. I have an educational email and it is free for life for me.
Oh wow.
So if you
What
have
do you
an
mean by an
educational
educational
email,
email? A student email ID?
yeah,
Oh,
from the
okay.
college, the one the college provides.
That's awesome. I'm
So
gonna
if
try
you
it right
have
now
one,
because I
then
work at a college. I don't have. I mean, I was a student like just 2 years, 1 year ago. I recently graduated. Although I'm like quite
okay. No,
elder to you, but
as long
still,
as you have that working email, it is going to work.
I think it's working. So I'm gonna try that for sure.
Yeah, it has to be recognized by that program though. Like
I'm pretty sure it is
other
going to be. I
other
studied in a nice
outside,
college, so I think yeah. But
then
yes,
it's
so
then
Notion is
it's
the
good enough.
Notion is the way to go, huh?
Notion,
That's how you
yeah.
manage your
Otherwise,
consistency and
a
your
piece of
business work and whatnot.
yeah. Software is pretty important. If I show you a screenshot of something, I can show you later on, I guess, on somewhere else.
Perfect. I don't know if you want, you can share your screen. We can
No,
for the people
no,
who are watching the video version,
it is
they
in the
would be able to
new.
also see it.
I have a new computer at this moment, so
Oh, do you
nothing
want to
is
give the news
installed.
to people? What kind of computer did you get?
Yeah, definitely. I actually bought the new M1 MacBook Pro, which was released like 3 weeks back. I am pretty excited for this. The reviews coming so far, especially for Final Cut Pro users, it is pretty amazing. Although as
It's
I
magical.
just,
Looking at the reviews, it seems magical.
yeah,
It can
yeah.
play
The thing
4K
is,
10-bit videos and whatnot. So
yeah,
crazy.
if you are an Indian, just remember that Apple is finally making things affordable and really good, like really good performance too. So if you are a Final Cut Pro user and if you are in a budget, the Mac Mini is the way to go. If you have an educational email, which easily you can get if you use the online store, just register. These people are so like stupid and all. I gave my ID card and all. They gave a wrong university name, but I don't care. Like it is working, no one is going to check anything. So I got the discount. As long as I got the discount, it doesn't matter. So anyone who is a college student, just post your just scan your ID cards and upload it in that particular website. It is going to be verified in 3 to 4 days, and you can get like 7 to 8,000 discount for the Mac Mini. And for my for my MacBook Pro, I got around 12,000 discount. So that is like 180
Not
or
bad.
$170 discount. That is a good amount actually.
For sure it is, yeah.
Yeah,
How much did you get the Pro for?
I got it for 1,46,000. The original
Okay.
price was 1,62,000.
Hmm.
So it is actually a lot more than 12,000. It is 12 plus 4, 16,000 actually.
That's
That is
awesome.
more than $200. But if you are living in the US or Canada, you will get only $100 discount.
Oh, okay. For all my Canadian and USA listeners, I don't know if there are any, but still, yeah, for them.
Yeah,
Anyways, bro, that sounds awesome. So, just to summarize it, I guess your income sources for now it comes from you selling the preset packs and
yeah,
the transition packs and stuff.
yeah,
You do client work, and
yeah,
you're also you never talked about the YouTube earning. Is YouTube
yeah.
earning enough? By the way, I had this question later on, but I'm gonna ask it right now.
Okay,
How does
okay.
YouTube pay you, and is it enough?
YouTube pays me pretty well for my subscriber base and for the views I get per month. I
Mhm.
get not that much views. I get around 1 lakh or 2 lakh views per month. But the amount
Wow,
I receive for those views is technically, um, you can say, 4 times more than an average YouTuber of 300K or 400K subscribers who has an Indian base.
wow. So is it because
If
of
you
the
are
audience base that you have?
So if you know that the YouTube AdSense is basically dependent on the people who are watching the videos. So if you are an Indian and you are watching someone's videos, they're going to earn a bit less. No offense to anyone, but it is just how the economy works in different places. So for example, if I earn around $12 from 1,000 views from US audience, you will practically earn around $0.1 if you have an Indian audience.
Wow,
So
it's
that
like a
is
massive difference.
yeah. My highest was around $30 for 1,000 views, and I
Wow.
have seen amount go as low as $0.01 for 1000 views who has an Indian channel. So it actually
That's crazy.
depends on where the people are staying. So if you're staying in a metropolitan place such as Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Kolkata, the four metropolitan places of the four parts of India, then you are going to earn a bit more. Hyderabad is also there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are staying in a remote place and seeing YouTube videos, you will earn a bit less there from that particular location. So location is a very important thing in videos. In my case, why my AdSense is so high and why, like, there is no proper way to like target your audience. You cannot just do so. You cannot actually do so. There is no proper way. So there is only one way to increase your revenue. You need to change the niche of your channel altogether. So understand this, like videos like real estate, credit card, finances will pay you a lot more
Mm-hmm.
rather than comedy, music, and dance. Comedy pays the least, I guess. After that, it is mostly, I don't know how reaction videos do because most of them may get copyrighted. But if it is not get copyrighted and if it falls under the Creative Commons licensing, then you can earn a good amount of money, which is more than the comedy videos. Comedy videos have a good advantage that comedy videos has a substantial amount of engagement, which normal educational videos may not have.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually compensating for lack of ad revenue for the engagement and the amount of views you are getting.
Okay.
So if you see like a comedy channel from India, and if you see the comments and the likes of that particular video and see a similar subscription based channel in the US, you will see that there's a massive difference in comments. It can be like 100K comments in that Indian video, it can be 4K comments or 5K comments in the US video because
Wow.
of how much engagement the Indian audience do, especially when it comes to comedy. Most of them might not be that good comments.
It might be
But
just trolls.
yeah, but yeah, the engagement is there. There are quality comments too. There are some useless comments too. I do get a quite a few of them, but I usually delete them rather than keeping them. And YouTube right now is actually doing a good thing. It actually is removing all the channels who are doing this kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last like 3 months, sometimes I usually get around 100 to 200 subscribers a day,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I look at it, I usually sometimes I get a small drop in the subscriber. Like if I am at 93,170, sometimes it becomes 150. So that is okay, I totally agree to that, although I'm losing the subscribers, but it is actually removing all the useless people. I don't like to have like people spamming the things and all. So I like how YouTube is doing them. It is slowly and gradually removing a lot of channels. And recently in the mid COVID season, like in August and September, there were a lot of hackers. There were a lot of hackers out there who were just hacking YouTube channels. I don't know if you have seen those. Even Traveling Mondays had his account hacked. A
Yes,
lot
yeah.
of
I heard that.
similar channels too. So it is actually pretty common. I used to get like 10 or 20 emails per day from
Mm-hmm.
different
Per
emails
day.
say
Wow. Is it like for that specific month or is it like a general thing that you do?
yeah, it was actually in that specific month. So
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know, it was like gradually it got reduced because people were complaining that this is happening, and there were a lot of channels. If you open Twitter is a great place for engagement on those kind of areas. If you have
Mm-hmm.
any YouTube related problem, just hit YouTube on Twitter, they are definitely going to respond you back. So I just follow YouTube on Twitter, and there are so many channels that getting their account hacked. It sometimes feels so bad because I have a friend who had 200K subscribers. He had his account hacked. He got it back definitely, but whenever there is a hacking period,
Mm-hmm.
the algorithm says that your account is inactive or not producing good enough content. So in the later few months, that channel might not do so well
Oh,
technically.
makes sense. Makes sense.
It's not a good thing for the channel overall. Definitely they can get back after some time, which is of course definitely, I would definitely want anyone to get back on that track. So but that was not a good scene to look at. And the thing about these people is they're very convincing. Even previously, what they used to do, they used to produce fake emails like PR17595 at the gmail.com. And these days, they also have a good business email, which is like, the topmost things scammers can do these days. And they are going to say that promote our service, $2,000, $3,000. Anyone like with 20K subscribers will actually get attracted to that particular amount. That is a good amount actually for a small video. They
For sure.
actually say made 30 seconds of it, or just make 10 seconds of it, so anyone can actually easily say yes. And they are very convincing. They have a very professional website to look at.
Hmm.
So if you are someone getting caught in this, my suggestion will be go to Google, search that website. If you get the website in the top level or the topmost portion of the search, then it is more or less legit.
Hmm.
Second, go to the website, go to the privacy section of it, read what they're actually writing. And most cases, these scammers don't actually write any kind of privacy section altogether.
Hmm.
This is one more point. Third of all, if there is a very good company like Filmora is a very good company. If you know that, there are many
Yes.
sponsored videos out there on the internet, but there are many scammers out there who are just telling that this is Filmora, just do it, make a video on this, and they get their account hacked. So if you're doing this, check the email and check other videos too. Check other videos out there on the internet. If there is any unknown company, check that video. There are many people out there who will make a video like, this is a scam, or don't follow this, this
Hmm.
is a fraud account, don't follow this. So make sure to do your background research before actually accepting any kind of sponsored deals. So as I brought in sponsored deals, I can also speak about that as my income. So I just told about ad revenue on YouTube,
Hmm.
and you can earn a good amount if you are if you have a good audience base, say for example US or Canada. And the lower versions of the audience base, or the audiences where the incomes are less, are usually India. It is uh, you cannot actually help it. If you ask me why, the reason is that technically in India, ads don't really work that much,
Hmm.
that effectively compared to US. In US, if you show an ad, there is a good chance out of 10 people, 3 people might buy it. But in India, if you show it to 1,000 people, then around 30 people might buy it. So there's a huge difference.
Oh.
So because of that, the ads overall price which the company pays in India is comparatively a lot less than in the US. That is why the ad revenue in India is a lot less than US. Why ad revenue is like that? Technically, the company pays to Google, like the company is paying $1,000 to Google for promoting their ads. Google takes a major amount of money, and then they share the percentage with the YouTubers on whose videos the ads are shown.
For sure.
So basically, because of that, that's how the ads are divided, and based on their location, the amount varies a lot. And
Perfect.
that's
Makes
why
sense.
many people get less amount, many people get a lot more amount. There are many people out there in India who get around 2 million views per month, earning only like $67 or $70. And if that same person is located in the US and has a US audience, they can easily earn like $2,000 or $3,000 easily. That's how it differs. That's a bit sad thing that you cannot control it. You can control it in one way. You can control the language. You can control like speaking in English like I do. So because of that, my audience is a bit on the worldwide side. Also,
Hmm.
one more reason is that I started with Final Cut Pro, making Final Cut
Yes.
Pro videos. And in India, it is not yet that much saturated, especially with Final Cut Pro. People mainly use Premiere Pro. Final Cut Pro का use उतना नहीं होता, and because of that particular reason, most of my audience in my starting days were from US, Canada, etc. And YouTube has this thing that if it looks like you are having people from here, then why not just promote more videos on those particular sectors only?
I agree. For sure.
So
Yeah. It makes
that is
sense.
why I get a lot of US audience. I have like 13% or 14% Indian audience, which I'm pretty sure are my college friends, are my school friends, are some
Or
of
your
the people out
relatives,
there.
or your
Yeah,
neighbors.
yeah, and some YouTubers out there here and there whom I got to know in the last few months or year. And those are definitely those are the people who
Oh,
are
that
watching this.
one of them is me then. One of them is
Yeah,
me,
but you
Pulkit
live in
Kalra,
Canada.
and
But
yeah.
you live
Oh
in
yes,
Canada.
yeah. But I would be. So I created my email ID, which I use for YouTube and stuff. It was in India when I was in India. I don't know how it would be counted as
No, that's not counted because Google actually locates where you look where you are actually.
from actual GPS location.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Everything is
Awesome then.
located, man. Everything is
Yeah,
located.
awesome. They know
Google,
everything. Very true.
Facebook. If you read their privacy section, they will definitely write a portion where they will say that they're actually tracking your data and what you're typing on Google and Facebook. You will
Yes.
always notice that if you are talking about something, like chatting about something or searching about something, you will see a related ad to
Yeah.
that on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else. That is
Especially
how
Instagram.
this.
Some
Yeah.
days back, I was just looking for a preset pack or something on Google. Just searching it on Google, I saw the ad on Instagram. So maybe Google is also sharing my data with Instagram. Who knows? Because I know that they are like different companies. So, but still, anyways, it works in that way too. I want to get to the next question, uh, which is kind of in the same line as you already mentioned, talking about sponsorships and brand deals. I know that you
Yeah.
have reviewed some products for brands, different brands, and
Yeah.
some digital assets as well. How does that thing work? Do these all of these companies, did they approach you or you approach them, or and how does the payment thing works? Did you just get a commission, and how is that
Okay.
scenario
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of the
Definitely.
content creation related world?
Definitely. This particular sector differs from various sectors to sectors. Just remember that product videos mostly are not paid. Mostly they
Okay,
are not
you just
paid.
get the product.
You just get the product and you review it. You can keep it forever with you.
Mm-hmm.
There are other instances also where company can send you a product, they will want it back.
Oh, okay.
Definitely because it is, mostly because it is a very costly product and they will not get that much returns from your video as much as they should. Okay, so mostly the companies that do these things, like the return things, are camera companies, like
Mm-hmm.
camera companies such as Fujifilm does this, Asus laptops does this, MSI laptops do this. There are many laptop companies, especially laptops, graphics card. These companies do this a lot.
So what do you
Huawei,
earn?
Sony,
If they are not even giving you the product, they're just giving you the product to review.
yeah.
Why do people make videos just to get some views, and that's the sole reason why?
Yeah, the thing is, whenever people are actually making these videos from these brands, those are new products which are just launched,
Mm-hmm.
and new products get a bit more views than old products. If I review a Sony A6300 now, it may not get as much reviews as it would have gotten if I had made the
5 years
reviews
ago.
like 5 years or 4 years back.
Yes, when it got
That makes
released.
sense. Of course, if I just change the title a bit, like if the Sony A6300 is good enough in 2020, if I title it that way, it is a bit different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But a normal unboxing review video will not work,
Makes sense.
sadly. So anyone doing in the unboxing sector or tech sector, if you are getting the latest things, good. If you are doing old things, 2 year or 1 year old, it is sadly not going to be that good unless you are doing extremely different things out of the box. That
True.
makes sense, I guess.
Sorry. And how does the
Yeah.
approach thing works? Do you approach them or do they approach you?
Yeah,
Brands.
definitely. It actually varies. When I started, I actually had a small friend. When I was at 1,000 subscribers, I had a friend. I actually have a friend. Like, he's still my friend. He is known as Brian Primetime. He's also a YouTuber. Back in that
Mm-hmm.
time, he was at 100. Sorry, he was at 30,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
He also does Final Cut Pro tutorials. We were just chatting and all. I just asked him out of the box that how to actually approach these people and all. So he said that you can actually approach the brands too, which I
Mm-hmm.
had no idea of. Which I'm sure a lot of people don't really have the idea. If you like any brand, then just go to the contact us page and just find any marketing email out there or PR email out there. And if it is not there, then just basically go to the main helpline email or the customer service email, and
Mm-hmm.
just make a kind of a email saying that you are a
A
YouTuber.
pitching mail.
Yeah, like a pitch deck. If you have a portfolio good enough, if you don't have a portfolio, then you can say things like you'll promote it in more than one videos, you'll promote it in both Instagram on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can use various methods out there to impress the client, impress the brand. Remember, the brand is not actually doing you a favor. They're actually sending you or giving you the product so that they can get something in return. So whenever you are making any email, make sure that you are actually doing it for the good of the brand, not for yourself. If you say that I want to use this in my videos and tell it to my people, no. You use words like I want your products and show it to my people and show that how it can be used properly so that my audience or anyone who is watching this can make better videos. If you
Mm-hmm.
use kind of words like this, which is good for the brand is actually knowing that you want to do this for them and not for you. If
Mm-hmm.
you can make sure that, then there is a good chance that no matter how small a channel you are, let it be 3000 or 4000 subscribers, you can get a brand deal out of it. It may not be paid, it may not be paid. So at first, just start doing things for free if you have the option. If they pay you, good enough. If they don't pay you, you can just sell your
At least keep
service
the
for
product.
free. At least, yeah, keep the product is a good thing. I
I
actually
can
got a
see
lot
some
of
products in the
things.
back. Yeah,
Actually, most of it is are are sent to me by people. Like,
that's
you
awesome.
know,
So did they send it to you like by themselves, or you approached them?
I can name a few which I approached myself. I
Mm-hmm.
approached a company called, just give me a moment.
No
I
worries.
approached a company called LoopDeck. If you don't know, LoopDeck actually creates some kind of like a keyboard kind of a thing where there's shortcut buttons which you can use to edit videos.
Uh-huh.
I was at around 9,000 subscribers back in the time, and the product costs around $400, 400 euros actually. That is actually
Wow,
more than
400
dollars.
euros you said.
Yeah,
That's around $550 or something.
I'm not sure, but it is more valued than dollars. That is
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
more than $400.
Yes.
So I just pitched them saying that I will review your product, show it to my people, give the link on the description so that it can drive sales, etc. And they actually liked my videos, my previous videos. So make sure to have some kind of a portfolio work. It may not
Mm-hmm.
be like a professional work. It may be just what you have already,
Mm-hmm.
just so that the client or the brand knows that you know how to make videos. Otherwise, it is not gonna make sense for them to send you a product out of nowhere. So
Agree.
they sent me the product. I made the video. It actually did pretty well. Back in the time, I did not actually give Amazon affiliates that much, but I remember selling around 20 of those in the first month. So it was good for the
Wow.
client brand too. So they're sending me one. In return, they're getting 20 sales. It should be more, but 20 sales for someone who is just starting out is actually a good deal.
Not bad. Seriously, not
So
bad. That's awesome.
yeah,
How does the
yeah.
Amazon affiliate thing work in India?
Uh, it's actually not that much effective for me
Mm-hmm.
because I don't really make that much product videos.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a tech channel, if you are a review channel, it is going to be much more sense. I know
Mm-hmm.
some people who earn like 20,000 rupees just from affiliates alone per month,
Mm-hmm.
like from Amazon affiliates alone. And 20,000 from Amazon affiliates is like a huge amount. You actually need to make a lot of sales to get that much amount.
Yeah.
Because remember, Amazon affiliates actually take like, it varies from 1% to 7 or 8%.
Mm-hmm.
That is, and 7 or 8% is mainly for books and all those areas. Tech is mostly on 2%, 1%, and 3%. So it is pretty less. So if you are a tech channel, you can get only 1% of the revenue. So you need to make a lot of sales to actually get some amount of returns out of it. In
Mm-hmm.
my case, I have affiliate links, but those are mainly for digital products. So as you know that I always sell my own digital products, but If I like some other brand's digital product too, I actually make a promotional video out of it. Sometimes it is just a one time thing. There is no affiliate marketing. They just give me a fixed amount for that one video, like a sponsorship deal, and I make a video and that's it. That is a good for starting out, because you might not know that if it is going to be it is going to make sale or not. You might not know that. Otherwise, if you are a big YouTuber who is going to make a lot of conversions from that video, then I would say go for the affiliate marketing, because that is going to be much more valuable, or the returns will be much more better than in the long run, basically. So you are getting $200 for one video or $300 for one video, and it
Mm-hmm.
is done, one time pay, done. But if you are selling that thing forever, like, I remember there is this brand called Cinepets, and I made a video. I made three videos for them,
Mm-hmm.
$150 each. I don't mind saying the amount, $150 each. That makes $450, and there was good. There was no affiliate marketing back then. It was just that's it, done. After that, after a few months, they actually came up with an affiliate marketing system on their own, and they
Mm-hmm.
just told me that this time we are not going to pay you a fixed amount. Rather, we are going to pay affiliate marketing, like affiliate marketing link, and
Mm-hmm.
people, whenever they're going to buy from your link, you can get a revenue out of it. And I was so shocked with the conversions it had, that I
So
was
it came out
glad
well.
that I, yeah, I was glad that I did not go for the fixed income, like the fixed rate. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually debating with them to give me a fixed rate and not the affiliate one.
Mm-hmm.
But then they told me that it is not necessary. I guess they saw that it is converting well, although I'm not sure if they did. But I tried, and in the first month, like I said, $150 each for three
Mm-hmm.
videos for $50.
Mm-hmm.
Videos are not that long, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Takes me around 5 hours to make each. So five
Not
hours for
bad.
$150, not bad. And for fifty
Seriously,
dollars
not
in one
bad.
deal is not bad. Like in
And
three
as you mentioned,
days,
Cinepax, did they reach out to you
yeah, they reached out to me.
just by
Yeah.
looking at your channel?
Yeah, because mine was mostly a transition based or a video editing tutorial channel. So it did
Very
make
true,
sense to promote someone's product there as well.
for sure.
So I made around $600 from affiliate marketing
Wow, man, that's
from
awesome.
that particular place alone.
This is you're
And they
saying just the
they
commission.
made
So probably yes,
yeah
the sales that
they
you might
made
have given
like
them.
4,000 or $5,000 out of it. So I
Wow,
was
crazy.
so shocked. Yeah, I don't make that much amount from my own digital products,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they market it pretty well. They have a lot more quantity of things than me. Like I usually make 10 or 12, they usually have like 100 or 50 of them, and
Very
each
true.
of them are costly. I usually sell presets or transition paths not more than $10. It actually varies from $5 to $9,
Mm-hmm.
but they usually sell them at $39, $50, $79, etc. So it was pretty crazy. And of course, the first month will be a bit more. Later, I started earning around $200, $250. It actually varies from that, but it is a good amount, to be honest. If I had just asked them like for one-time payment, if I asked them for $200 per video also,
Mm-hmm.
then I would not have got that much amount back. So sometimes things happen for good. This happened for good, and you may not get as much good results as I have gotten, but you can get a lot closer. So affiliate marketing is a big plus. I know people who are earning like 20 lakhs per month from just affiliate marketing itself. Affiliate marketing is not just Amazon and all. There are many complex places of affiliate marketing too,
Mm-hmm.
which is a more complex sector of marketing, which I don't know. You actually need a good amount of experience for those. But if you are good at those, it is definitely going to be like a career option, because 20 lakhs per month, I don't think a lot of people actually earn that much.
Yes, not even
I
in
don't
in a
really
year,
think.
I guess. I don't know. Seriously, a huge amount that is.
No. No, the
Awesome.
people are actually Indians. The people are Indians.
Wow, crazy. Can you name few?
Yeah, I actually don't
It's okay.
remember those people's
It's okay.
name.
It's okay.
Yeah. There are some people who don't earn that much,
Mm-hmm.
like not 20 lakhs, but definitely in lakhs. Digital Pratik is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Digital Pratik, and after that, there is a blogger. I forgot his name. I can just forward it to you later if I
Okay,
recall it
awesome.
properly.
Are you
There's
talking
a
about
blog.
Mumbai ka Nikhil or something?
I don't really. No, 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 no. No, this blogger actually interviews other famous people.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about Beer Biceps, the Ranveer show and stuff?
Oh, he is good, pretty good too. But the one I'm saying is more on a he's more on 200K subscribers and all. Beer Biceps is in the millions, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
So they might be earning like a very different amount, I believe. But who knows? Who knows?
yeah,
As you
yeah,
mentioned, it depends upon, there are so many factors regarding the
yeah,
money and how much do you earn regarding the audience and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was a
we
lot
actually
of,
s- we actually spend a lot of time on the earning part, and I'm
yeah,
sure it is
seriously.
going to help for the people out there because a lot of people
It is
don't
really
really
going to
know
help people.
this.
I really feel because this will motivate them, because now that we see every, especially I'm talking about my own field and our own field actually, the content creation field, although it seems so damn saturated, I see a new channel emerging every single day on my feed, and every other channel is great. It's great. I'm not
Yeah,
saying they're like bad
yeah,
or average. They're great. They're great channels. um,
yeah,
but as you mentioned, that there is still a lot of scope in having a YouTube channel, especially in our stream. All you have
yeah,
to do is like put in the efforts, because everything that you have been earning currently, I don't think it is like an overnight success. You have been doing so much of work for almost 2.5 years or something, right?
yeah, yeah. I have been on YouTube for 3 years, not 2.5 years, for three
For
years, I
3 years.
guess. And for the first year, I remember posting videos almost every day or each alternate day at least.
Hmm.
I remember making around 200 or 250 sorry, 200 or 250 videos from the first year. That's pretty much more than one third of an year actually.
Wow,
If you are actually taking 365 days, then I have made around 250 videos. So
that's awesome.
that's
That's crazy
that's
awesome.
actually I don't have that many now. I deleted a lot of them or changed them to private because when you're starting, you make a lot of mistakes,
Hmm.
and no matter how much you think that that video is gonna be best and it is going to stay that way in the coming years too,
Hmm.
few months later, if you look at it, you are going to see that it can be improved so much. So that is how actually we work. And I actually privated a lot of videos because it was just not necessary, and the
Awesome.
topics were just a bit too all over the place, so I just decided on keeping them private.
Perfect. It
And
makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah,
And now that you said that you have been doing this for 3 years now, 3 years
yeah,
of YouTube journey, do you feel that there was a moment while you were doing YouTube that you felt like, okay, now YouTube is pushing my content? Because I'm pretty sure you're a very analytical person, and you see YouTube analytics and stuff and all. So when you see the YouTube analytics, was there a point of time when you saw a spike in the views and stuff, and you were like, okay, now I think because I'm putting so much efforts, YouTube is realizing it, that I'm putting so many videos and stuff, and it's promoting it. Was there a moment or something like that?
you can say that it was more like a gradual process. Like
Mm-hmm.
I start from the your first video is going to be like, I can easily say that if you at least are a social person, then your first video will get around 1,000 views easily, because your first video you're going to tell it to your friends, they're going to promote it on social media such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Your first
Mm-hmm.
video is going to be really well. Your second video is not going to be as good as your first video. Your third video is not going to be as good as your first video. So one thing, anyone who is starting out, you need to know that after 200 subscribers or 300 subscribers, the real journey begins, because that is the time when all the known people are already subscribed,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the time where unknown people are gonna start coming in.
Yes.
So I, from my starting, I actually stopped telling people about my channel. Like I asked them around at least till 150 subscribers. After that, what I did was I just kept on making videos. I kept on making mistakes. I kept on improving my videos, just focusing on the content and all. And on the fourth month or fifth month, I made this fan called a breakdown video, I guess. It was around 1,000 views, but that actually motivated me a lot, and I started making a lot of videos similar to those.
Mm-hmm.
So one more analytical thing, which I must say, that if you look in your analytics and see one video is doing well, make similar videos of that kind for some time, so
Mm-hmm.
that the people who have subscribed from seeing those videos, they can stay and they can like your videos, they can comment in your videos. And likes, shares and comments actually goes a long way than views. So if your videos have a good amount of likes and comments, it is going to be promoted in a long run rather than in a short run. So if you're focusing on the engagement a lot, then slowly and gradually your channel is definitely going to grow. Of course, you know luck matters a lot in these things. Sometimes video goes viral, you don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't go viral, you don't know why. Luck actually matters a lot. And even in my case, luck didn't do that much. If you look at it in my channel, my old videos are still not doing that good. It is still at 5,000 views, 10,000 views, etc. comparatively my subscriber base.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly they are quality subscribers who are actually subscribed to the channel. So in my case, if you look at it, out of 100%, 75% of people are subscribed to my channel and 25% are new. But in other channels, you will see that mostly it is like 40% subscribed, 60% not subscribed, 30% subscribed, 70% not subscribed. So my conversion rate is a lot higher because of how consistently I give the thing. So if one person subscribes, they see that the next guy actually posted one more video similar to those. So he stays subscribed or she stays subscribed. But if I suddenly stopped all of a sudden, then the algorithm also doesn't like it. If you post consistently, the algorithm likes it a lot. And if the algorithm sees that the same people are actually watching your videos a lot of times, then they are going to push that video further a lot more.
Makes sense. It makes
That
sense.
that actually is a good, what you say, conclusion which I could make. Other than those, a good title, a good thumbnail actually goes a long way. I remember making a
Mm-hmm.
headphone review video, which I never do. That was my first one. And in the first 6 months, that had like 900 views. And then what I did was I changed the thumbnails of all my product videos. I
Mm-hmm.
properly shot them with a DSLR, properly, creatively put the titles and all. And
Mm-hmm.
then suddenly that video from 900 views went altogether 10,000 views.
Wow, that's
And
crazy.
that had an affiliate link out there with it as well. So I earned some amount from that too. So good thumbnail, good title goes a long way. Good
That is
thumbnail,
awesome. So even if you change the thumbnail and title later on, that
yeah,
works.
it actually works. So if you say the order of priority, then
Mm-hmm.
thumbnail first, definitely, because thumbnail actually comes first in a mobile phone if you look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the title, and then your description.
Mm-hmm.
Tags are not as important these days as it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Tags, you can give tags, you can give as many tags as 500 words, letters, I guess. You
Yes.
can give those, but it is not that effective as effective it is on your description. So focus on your description a lot. Make
Oh,
sure
okay.
to give keywords a lot. There's a term in blogging as in the written blogging, the one starts with B, blogging.
Mm-hmm.
There's a term called SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. So search engine optimization, there are a lot of people who actually know the full form, don't really know what this thing actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So the internet is made of keywords, right? So whenever you're searching something on Google, that is actually a keyword. You're not actually searching a whole sentence out of it, definitely not.
Very true.
So those are the keywords which people find. Those are the keywords which you need to understand, that if you're making something like editing video, Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro editing tutorial, or you know make better videos, these kind of terms have a lot of value. People actually search these kind of terms on the internet. So if you put important terms on your description in a proper sentence like manner, of course it has to be relevant to your content, otherwise it is not going to be that well. If it is relevant, and if you put good density keywords on your description, and then people are going to easily find you out on the search bar, then it is a very good way to actually grow up organically if you look at it. because people are actually coming at you by searching the videos on the internet, and if the same person search those words numerous amounts of time, your channel is definitely going to come in some time or the other. That is how organically someone can grow. That is the prime logic how blogging works. Blogging was totally on keywords. So I can actually come to blogging later because I do have a blog too.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, yeah.
Tell me one
So
thing
that's
that you
the
don't do.
blog.
You have everything. You're everywhere, like omnipresent. And that's actually my next question. If you don't mind, I can we can get to the next question and you can add on to
Okay,
this.
okay, sure, sure, of course.
The next question again, you can talk about the analytics stuff and the things that you think are important in terms of being searched on the internet.
Yeah,
But I really want to know your opinion on the other apps, the other social media apps like Instagram, Twitter, and whatnot. And do
yeah.
you use them? I know that you use them. Do you use them as extensively as you do use YouTube? And if you do, what's your take on them? Like how each app is important in terms of promoting yourself or just being a
Yeah.
content creator, how each app is important and has helped you maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I am on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook at the moment. Facebook, in my opinion, is a bit oversaturated at this moment. It was definitely not 8 years ago or 7 years ago. Facebook was actually a good place to start a business, especially for promoting yourself. I have promoted myself on Instagram countless times, the paid promotion ones. I do have promoted the normal with the normal stories too.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, I don't really get that much time to focus on for making content because it YouTube itself takes a lot of time, and I have client works. Not to mention I have college works too, and it actually takes a lot of time out of it. So I typically cannot like focus that much on Instagram, although I want to. Definitely after I pass out, I will focus a bit more on that category too. Instagram is a good place. There are many people out there who actually can make a career out of Instagram itself because Instagram is such a good place for showing what you actually can do. Especially if you have a passion for something, Instagram is a pretty good place, just like YouTube. If you know correctly, then it is like YouTube and then Instagram. There is nothing else after that. There are many smaller, TikTok is there, but TikTok is not there on India in India anymore. So
True.
TikTok is there on other parts of the world, but it is kind of a debatable topic, debatable social media at this moment. So I'm not counting that. YouTube, Instagram, and there is nothing else after that. Technically, there is nothing else after that. So these two places are somewhere one can actually shine. And if you are creating content on Instagram quite frequently, companies can reach out to you too, or you can reach out to companies too. I remember there will be times that you may not get any response from the emails which is there on the websites. If you just DM them, there's a good chance they might reply back too.
Okay.
Sometimes I actually got quite a few products. If you Yeah, there is this one product. This company is no more. This is Alter.
Uh-huh.
This is like a rapid filter system. If you don't know what a rapid filter system is, it is like a temporary, sunglass to your lens. Like in your lens, there's ND filter, right? So
Yes.
this thing you can attach the ND filter on this thing,
Mm-hmm.
like a sunglass, and you can just take it off whenever you want, and you
Oh,
can
I
just
guess
put
I've
it
seen that
back in.
video. I've seen that video.
Yeah,
I guess it
yeah.
goes
So
up and then it goes down. It
yeah,
covers it like
yeah.
that.
So if you are like clicking photos and videos together, that is a good advantage. But sadly, this company, you know,
They're not active
it
anymore.
closed down due to COVID. They had a lot of people working from them, and the returns during COVID was not as good. So sadly,
Understandable.
it could not be continued as this was a new company. So they had the fund. They wanted to like they could have actually gone a lot bigger if this COVID did not happen, but it was just one unfortunate um, downfall,
Scenario.
you can
True.
say.
Very true.
So yeah, reaching out on Instagram is also a pretty good thing. And if you are creating something like brand promo videos or property videos and sharing them on your channel, sorry, in your Instagram profile, there's a good chance that your local people who are interested on those kind of works, they can actually contact you for making this kind of videos. So Instagram is a pretty good place for showing freelancing portfolio stuff, and people can actually reach out to you from those areas as well. And also, not to mention that if you use the paid advertisements from Instagram or Facebook in general,
Mhm.
remember there are two parts of ads. One is Google advertisements and another one is Facebook advertisements. Google advertisements are all the things you see on any websites or blogs out there. Those are mainly the Google advertisements. And Facebook's advertisements are mainly the ones you see on Facebook and Instagram, especially Instagram stories. You see a sponsored thing right here. So those are basically the ones which are promoted through paid advertisements. So I tried that once back in the day when I was around 20,000 subscribers, I guess. I can share the analytics. I spent around 8,000 rupees, not
Okay.
in one go, not in
Okay.
one go, 300 at a time,
Mm-hmm.
300 at a time, and then they changed the tax rules, and so 300 plus tax, it was around 380. So I spent around 8,000 rupees, and it was a very unpredictable thing. One promotion did super well. Other promotion, the same promotion I promoted once more, it did not do that well.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to understand that whenever you're promoting something, you need to keep a capital in your bank. Like you have to spend this much to experiment. Like if you're promoting on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, it might be a bit more. If you're promoting on Wednesdays, Thursdays, it might be less. If you're promoting on the weekends, the retention will be a lot more. Also, what you're promoting is a major thing. Like if you're promoting Lightroom presets, it is going to work out a lot better than if you're promoting transition videos or normal tutorial videos, etc. For example, for 300 rupees, there are around 320 people who actually
Mm-hmm.
swiped up to that particular advertisement and saw the video. And as it was a transition based video, they actually liked it. And more often than not, out of those 300 or 280 people who are watching those advertisements and coming to my channel, out of those, I used to get at least 100 subscribers for
Not bad.
300 rupees.
Not bad.
Not bad, but it is not going to be the thing for everyone, because like I said, if you are promoting once and then you're suddenly stopping
Mm-hmm.
making content for that channel, then those people are not going to stay. I know subscription or subscribing a channel is totally free of cost, but people are very picky in this particular times, and they tend to unsubscribe if you're not creating something. So
Makes sense.
if you
Or
are
maybe, as you
promoting
mentioned,
through,
if you're creating content that is not along the lines of what you used to create, that also
yeah,
pisses them off and they unsubscribe.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's why you have to be a bit careful, and you need to understand that that money which you spend there may not actually ever return to you, because like I said, it was just to promote my channel. It was never to like sell something. It was never to get advertisements out of it, because YouTube has this rule now
Mm-hmm.
that if you're promoting through Instagram, or like if a major chunk of audience is coming from Instagram and going to YouTube, you
Mm-hmm.
will get the views. But if those people, out of those people, if a lot of people are not actually watching the videos, just like clicking the videos and then again closing the videos, that view after a few days will be deducted from your
Total
video.
view count.
Yeah, total view count. I can actually give an example. Shayan Bez, right? Shayan,
Yes, yes,
Shayan
yes. I
Bez.
recent yeah, I recently did a
Yeah,
podcast with him.
yeah, he was actually my classmate back in school. So that's
Oh,
actually a long story altogether. It was back in the day when we used to compete so much. I can say easily that if he was not there, I would not have been as good as I am today. I can say the same for him too. So what happened is he actually posted one video on YouTube,
mm-hmm.
and he promoted a lot on, like, he has been teasing that video a lot on Instagram. And I remember that video going all the way till 3,500 views, or like 3,000 or 2,000 views. And suddenly that went down to 1,100 views.
Oh, okay.
So he is not that big of a YouTuber. So he just asked me that why this is happening, and I asked him simply that are the audience coming mainly from Instagram or Facebook or somewhere like that? He told me that yes, it is. And sadly, because of that, as the rule was, he do not do any kind of paid advertisements. He
Mm-hmm.
just kept on teasing it on the internet out there. But it so happens that out of so many people, most of them did not actually see those videos, and that actually disheartens, demotivates people too. So I don't really like YouTube doing this. Maybe just don't give the view count at all. Why just give the view count and reduce
And
it
let it
later?
be.
It actually doesn't, demotivates the person altogether. It is not a good
Very
mental
true.
thing. Yeah,
I think it's the Google versus Facebook thing also, because
yeah,
YouTube belongs to Google and
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
Facebook. So it can be
yeah,
that too. But who knows? Anyways, uh, Sammy, I think all of these things that we talked about, they were like really, really insightful. And
yeah,
at least I learned a lot. And there were so many things to learn from. But
yeah,
now this long question and answer session, this grueling session of long question and answer, is
yeah,
over, and we can head to the
yeah.
next section of the podcast, which are some technical questions. Exactly, I mean, very simple
Okay,
questions.
okay.
You can answer them in like a few words, sentences, or feel free to elaborate, but they're not meant to be like a long question and answer. So simple questions, and I guess we should get into the technical parts now a little bit. Although you talked a lot about the technicalities of things, so are you
Yeah,
ready for going into the second
yeah.
round? All right, brother.
Okay.
So the very first question, tell me about your editing setup. What are the machines that you are using for editing, and what do you use them for? Let's
Yeah,
make this quick
definitely.
one.
Definitely. I have three computers at this moment. I have a iMac 2019. I have a
Mm-hmm.
PC with a Ryzen 3900X and a 8 GB graphics card. And I have bought a new MacBook Pro M1. The reason I have all three of them, first of all, I do a lot of multitasking,
Mm-hmm.
like a tremendous amount. So it is like if I'm rendering something on one computer, I sit on the other computer and make one more video. And right now the situation is like college is given so much pressure. And
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know if I've told you, like, I don't like to be a bad college student. I know a lot of people out there don't really care about college, like college ko bhool jao, like it's just something. Yeah, that is very true. That is true for me too. But I was a good student ever since from my childhood, and I I had kind of, you can say that I have this OCD of at least getting the perfect result as best as I can. May not be the 100% of that thing, but it will be the best version of what I can produce with what I'm capable of or what I know. So even if it's architecture, I do it as best as I could, as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually takes a lot of time. And because of that, architecture itself is a very, you know intensive PC workload. It actually takes a lot of PC
Mm-hmm.
workload altogether, like AutoCAD, Revit, and renders and all. There are 3D render software such as Blender and all. Blender on one hand is easy to use. I do have used Blender a lot of times, but
Mm-hmm.
mostly in my case it is making buildings.
Mm-hmm.
In other people's cases, they are making miniature models and several different kinds of models altogether. For Shine Base too, he uses Blender. I don't use Blender because the renders out of Blender are a bit on the cartoonish side. They're a
Mm-hmm.
bit more 3D if you look at it. It is more on like a 3D animated film.
True.
Architecture, on the other hand, focuses more on reality. Like the renders has to be as realistic as much possible. So that
Okay.
actually takes a lot of computer space. And MacBooks, iMacs are not known for those kind of workflows. So I needed one Windows, and I use Premiere Pro too. So I just bought a good spec out Windows computer for doing my architecture works as well as my, Premiere Pro works and After Effects works. Final Cut Pro work good enough on the iMac, but still needed a bit more on the processing side. So that's why I bought the M1 MacBook Pro. And not to mention that I don't have any laptop. I didn't have any laptop before this. So if college reopens, more often than not, I will need a laptop because now most of the things are digitalized, and I am not thinking that it will like bounce back to writing on paper anytime soon. Like
Very
most of
true.
the things which we used to do in paper, and now we do it in softwares. So I don't think people have gotten habituated so much in this. I'm pretty sure that it is very hard to bounce back at this moment. So yeah,
That,
that's the three editing setups I have.
yeah.
A bit overkill, I must say, but if you look at me in one day, like if I even keep a webcam, no, if I keep a security camera in my room, and if you see me working, you will understand why I'm saying that. Because the computer's health is also a good matter, because if you are working in one computer all day, it is going to slow down a lot, the fans are going to turn up a lot. So
Very true.
dividing the
I agree
thing
on
into
this.
different computers actually takes the workload a lot, smoother than it actually should.
For
So
sure.
that is
For
why I
sure.
have three computers.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. Next question for you. I know that you just mentioned that you use Final Cut and you use Premiere Pro. Tell me your preference. I mean, which one do you prefer to work with and why? And are there specific scenarios where you would like to use one over the other?
Yeah, definitely. My main choice will be Final Cut Pro, since I have always been editing on this. I know in and outs and literally everything which is there inside it. If I don't know something, I can actually say that if you say something and I don't know this, it is probably not there in Final Cut Pro. I can
Uh,
say it with
that
that
is
much
some confidence. I need
confidence.
that confidence in my life.
That is that is the level of confidence which I have with Final Cut Pro. For Premiere Pro, it has a very separate, different workflow altogether. For Premiere Pro, if you are a team worker, if you are sharing projects a lot, it is a lot easier than Final Cut Pro. In Final Cut Pro, you need to share a lot of different libraries and files and all. In Premiere Pro, it is a lot easier,
Hmm.
because in Premiere Pro you don't really need to share the transitions. Also, you just need to send the raw files, raw video files, and the project file. In Final Cut Pro, you need to share the transition, you need to share the plugins, you need to share the titles, everything you have to share, so
Hmm.
that that other person gets it. And altogether, with the raw files, it is a very huge chunk of data to be transferred. So I don't really prefer that way. So if I am doing a teamwork, or if I am doing any work with my team, Premiere Pro is the way to go. If I'm doing work for my, like if I'm doing something which is solely I'm doing on my own, like some bit scale projects, Final Cut Pro is the way to go. There are some specific scenarios where Premiere Pro is a bit better than Final Cut Pro. Premiere Pro's stabilization at default setting is a bit better than Final Cut Pro, I must say. If you twist and change a lot of settings, it is a different scenario. But if you take the default settings, then
Hmm.
Premiere Pro is a bit better. And Final Cut Pro's speed ramping, which I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of creators out there use it. It is one of the most used, yet looks so soothing to look at transitions out there. Like it is one transition which it is endless. It is not like one particular method to do so. It is a lot of combinations you can do with speed ramping. It may be just so fast speed ramp you may not actually understand. It can be like a split of a second. Sometimes Monish Doltani or Cine Shades, his previous channel name, he does that sometimes. Those super fast transitions. And sometimes it is just a seamless speed ramp transition, which a lot of people do so. Which Rory Kramer actually started it. Rory
Hmm.
Kramer, if you know him, he actually made that closer video from Chainsmokers. He
Yeah.
actually directed
Oh,
and edited that video.
he made closer. Rory Kramer.
Yeah, Rory Kramer actually edited and shot that video with
Wow.
Matt Como, if you know Matt Como.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. I know both of them.
those two people actually made that video. Though that was the video which made them famous actually, and that
Oh,
is
okay.
one of the reasons why they are who they are today. So he actually technically started this kind of a transition, and then Sam Colder was definitely there. He started with the my year travel films. Those are like off the charts thing.
Yeah.
I know zoom transitions, luma fades and all, they are overused these days, but to be able to think of something like that when those effects never existed is something which is totally
Something
unique.
commendable for sure.
Yeah, nowadays he doesn't use transitions, he just use totally on a cinematic story level, which I really appreciate and really respect, because he understands that a lot of people have already copied it and there is no point in making those again at such a date.
I agree for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next question for you, brother.
Okay.
Have you used DaVinci Resolve? And if you have used it, what's your opinion on DVR?
Yeah. DaVinci Resolve is a great software. It is like for color grading, it is pretty good. I know a lot of people who are actually shifting from Premiere Pro to DaVinci, typically because it is either a one-time fee or a free software.
Mm-hmm.
And Premiere Pro takes a lot of money, man.
Yeah,
That
every month for sure.
subscription is like a really a headache if you ask me. That's a good amount to be paid per month or per year for an editing software. Final Cut Pro is a lot better in that aspect because it is also a one-time offer, and if you have an educational discount, it is like $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
So DaVinci, if you ask me, it is a great software. But there are also people who made the timeline in Premiere, convert it to DaVinci, and there are people in Final Cut Pro do the same.
Mm-hmm.
The problem being that in Final Cut Pro to DaVinci, this workflow is very glitchy. And Blackmagic, who actually made DaVinci, they also agree to this, that this one workflow is something which actually works out of luck. Premiere Pro to DaVinci is very seamless, but Final Cut Pro to DaVinci is very glitchy, a lot
Mm-hmm.
glitchy to be honest. So the only way to fix that glitch is that technically the glitch is whenever you are importing the timeline, it is not linking the clips, although the clips are linked. That
Mm-hmm.
is a headache, and that is the only way to fix that is reinstalling the software. There's no other way to do that.
Every time you have to reinstall the
every
software.
time every time. So if it works out of the box, you are very lucky. If it doesn't, reinstall it twice or thrice, it is going to work. That is the only way to fix that at this moment. Although
Mm.
right now it is DaVinci 17, it just got released, I guess, with the M1 MacBooks.
Mm-hmm.
So hoping that they are gonna
Fix it later.
fix this thing really soon.
Awesome.
So
That's
DaVinci is
perfect.
a great software for color grading, definitely. For saving your money, definitely. For Final Cut Pro to DaVinci, still not that much recommended. For Premiere Pro to DaVinci, yes, definitely. It is actually
Awesome.
a good software to color grade.
Perfect.
Okay.
Uh, Talking about color grade, I have this question for you. It wasn't mentioned in this list of mine. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
how do you make your LUTs and stuff? Do you use DaVinci for that, or like you just make your
Oh,
LUTs in
no, no.
Premiere or other softwares?
No, I have never made LUTs in Premiere. There's a software in Final Cut Pro called Color Finale.
Oh, okay.
Technically, back in the day when
Mm-hmm.
Final Cut Pro 10.4 was not released, it was 10.3, I guess. I'm not sure about the version. There
Mm-hmm.
was no inbuilt color plugin. Like there was nothing to color grade it inbuilt. So this plugin was there, Color Finale, which was the only way you can actually color grade your footages in Final Cut Pro. Like it is a paid plugin. You
Mm-hmm.
have to buy this to actually color grade. Otherwise, it is a very hectic process. So Color Finale actually gives the option, whatever your changes to the color you are making in your videos, you can actually export it as a LUT. So I
Okay.
make the LUTs that way. I have tried DaVinci once, but it is a bit too complicated for me because I actually time is a bit factor for me. And if I can get the same results, like I mentioned, I'm very fluent with Final Cut Pro. If I can get the same results with Final Cut Pro, I don't really need DaVinci for that as of now. But yeah, maybe if I have to, like, if I'm working as a professional colorist for any project, I would say I go for DaVinci.
All right. Next question for you. What are your favorite photo editing apps?
Photo editing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Lightroom is good
Mm-hmm.
for PCs and Macs, for laptops basically,
Mm-hmm.
and for mobiles. I would say Snapseed is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Light shot sometimes.
Light shot.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
this app have?
It's basically a version of PixArt, just a
Okay.
simpler version of it.
Okay.
PixArt is good. You can do a lot of things on it. There are
For sure.
some YouTubers out there who create a lot of cringe stuff out of it, which I don't know why one should spend so much time in making those things out of PixArt though. But those get a lot of views because those are
Software is so
eye
accessible, I
catchy.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
eye
even the software
catchy.
is so accessible. I think it's
Yeah,
free and everyone can install it on their
those
mobile
are
phones
very
and
eye
stuff.
catchy, but just like TikTok was in this Indian community, TikTok
Hmm.
had a very bad reputation. I would say those kind of edits have a bad reputation altogether. It is like everything flushed out, greens all over the place. Your face is like totally white. Your hair, all the black, it is totally brown. I don't know. Like it is totally off
I
the chart edits.
I know
I
what you
am
mean.
sure you have seen this sometimes or the other all over the place on internet.
Yes, very
So
true.
there is one editing app called Pixel Meter. It is a iOS and iPad app. It
Uh-huh.
is basically a Photoshop alternative for iPads. So most of the things which we can do in Photoshop, like the light editing was, you can do it here as well. Pixel Meter. It is a paid app.
Mm-hmm.
It costs around $3, I guess, $3 or $4. It is a paid app, but as you are using it on an iPad, it is a big screen, you have a touch screen, so there are some minor edits out there where you have to remove a background or stuff. Pixelmeter is the way to go. I don't like to use Photoshop for those things, because using a mouse is good and all, but when you're using the touch screen, selecting things is a lot more easier than that.
Definitely. And you said it's just
Yeah,
$3. It's like a one-time payment, $3, and that's it, or like a
yeah, one
monthly
time.
$3.
Yeah, it's
Not
one time
bad.
payment.
Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah, it has a iPad, it has a Mac application too. But as now M1 has this feature that you can use all the iPad apps on the Mac too. So I don't really need to buy it because I already have the iPad version now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right, brother. Next question for you now. What are some of the apps that you have on your phone or iPad, and the apps that you use the most? And they can be like general apps, content creation apps, or as I mentioned, like a very
Okay,
simple app like
for
an alarm
that I
app.
have to I have to open.
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me about the apps. I know one of the app is Notion already because you
Yeah.
talk so much good about it. Uh, Tell me the other apps that you have.
Okay, so definitely Google Meets and Zoom. if you if you know, I
Yeah,
am a
especially at
student,
this age
so
of point, why not?
yeah. Other than those, Lightroom definitely.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube Creator Studio.
Mm-hmm.
I do have other apps, Instagram, Google Analytics, Google AdSense Analytics, PayPal, definitely. I play Pokemon a lot.
Still,
Pokemon Go
you
is
still do?
there. Yeah, I still do. I
That's
play
awesome.
Pokemon a lot, so Pokemon Go is still there.
Uh-huh.
There's an app called Gbox. Gbox is an app made by an Indian creator only.
Mm-hmm. What's
He is
that?
around 25 years, I guess. I don't remember his name.
No, what's the app? What does the app do?
Oh, it's called Gbots.
Mm-hmm.
Gbots is basically an app for Instagram for creating those white spaces. Other than those, I usually use it for white spaces. You can divide the videos into grids. Cut the videos into
Okay.
grids, split the
Okay. Okay.
videos. Choose the best hashtags, create a repost out of it. Etc. All those things. It
Awesome.
is just an Instagram kind of an app. I have Pinterest. I do have Pinterest for my blog and all. And
Mm-hmm.
so it is a good social media if you ask me. Pinterest is good for designers. Good for designers, graphic designers, any content creator out there creating any kind of design. Pinterest is the way to go because the amount of designs one shares in this place is enormous. And there's no way to monetize it, so it is just like a social media which
Mm-hmm.
one can just go into, but it is a good place to get inspiration out of it. So architecture works, normal design works, and even just photos in general. Pinterest has a lot of content if you want to look at.
Okay.
Spotify, definitely. Discord, I am in Discord in some of the other YouTubers. I don't have one of my own as of now. I do like shopping. I do like shopping a lot. I do have Zara, H&M,
Okay.
Myntra, Amazon, etc. Coves.com, you know, Beowulf.com. I have all those apps. I
Mm-hmm.
have a app. I have a section called Camera Utilities, which is mainly the Ronin control app, the Osmo Assistant control app, the Firetech gimbal control app. I have other sliders also, motorized sliders. I have the control apps for them. So those folder is for those apps. Other than those, I have a productivity app, a productivity folder basically where I keep Notion.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, it is one of the key things. I have Apple Notes. Apple
Okay.
Notes is mainly for cross syncing between my iMac and my phone or my laptop and all.
True.
Whenever I type something which I want it to be in my computer, I just type it on the Apple Notes.
Mm-hmm.
I have Google Notes too. So same goes for the
Again.
PC. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm using something which I want in my PC, I keep it in a Google Notes. Although I have an iPhone, I actually prefer Google Photos. The only reason being it has unlimited storage, and it
Okay.
actually reduces the
The
quality
quality.
of the pictures a bit, but it is good enough because I just want those pictures as a memory, not as a professional use. So for unlimited storage, that's a very good deal. And Apple is just like 5 GB storage for that online online thing, and it
Which
just
is
fills
nothing.
up. It just fills up. In iPhone, every
So quick.
shot is like 20 MB.
True.
It is gonna fill pretty soon. So that is why I use Google Photos a lot. Other than those, I do have some mutual fund investment apps. I do invest in mutual funds
Okay.
for future uses. So I do have some mutual fund apps. I am pretty sure that it is not there in Canada because these are mainly Indian apps.
Mm-hmm.
Paytm mutual fund, PhonePe mutual fund. There's an app called Grow, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's another app called ET Money, which I have, which is pretty good too. I
Mm-hmm.
usually use ET Money for my mutual funds, but you can use any one of them. Most of them are pretty good. Google
Yeah.
Maps is there. I don't use Apple Maps. Lightroom is there.
Okay.
In my iPad, I have LumaFusion. LumaFusion is a great app for editing videos on iPad. And
Yes,
now
I've
that
heard
I
about it.
have the M1 MacBook, and as I just said, that I can use iPad apps. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that it is going to open a lot more possibilities because LumaFusion currently is the only like good enough app which is working on both iPad and Mac at the same time. LumaFusion is limited to some extent. It has a learning curve, but if you ask me to categorize several editing softwares, I can say that it is 75% of Final Cut Pro of what Final
Mm-hmm.
Cut Pro can do. LumaFusion is currently in that particular stage, and now that it is available for laptop too, I'm pretty sure that the developers are going to do something with it, like change some things out there so that the laptop version can suit well, and then the iPad version is going to perform well as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Sounds awesome.
Other apps include I have Asana. Asana is just like Notion. It is a team management app, but in
Mm-hmm.
Asana, I have accounts for where I work for other people. So they don't use Notion like me. They use Asana, which makes sense. It actually depends on everyone's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Asana for those people. I have Google Drive. I have Google Drive. I have two accounts on Google Drive actually. I have one with unlimited storage and other one with 100 GB of storage, which is personally my own.
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited storage, it is kind of a, it is kind of a, I
A
don't know how
hack.
it's actually unlimited. It is, you can get this through connections,
Uh-huh.
like many connections locally out there, but it is basically a shared folder. There is
Okay.
a head out there who can access all the folders, but not the files inside of each folder.
Mm-hmm.
So I have folder Shomojit, and there's a head out here. He can see I have Shomojit, but he cannot see what's inside it. It's my own. But I can get the profit out of it. I have a subscriber who actually deals in this, and he actually said that I can give it to you for free. But still, if you are indulging in this, make sure to zip your files with password and just use this place for backup, something which you totally like may not be required at the moment. Maybe you want to save us some space on your hard drive,
Yes.
then you can just keep it here with a password, because if you use password, then more or less it is going to be safe. Don't use don't keep things like your tax details or bank details or something so confidential which might be problematic at the future.
Perfect.
So be careful with what you do, especially at these things, because I know some people who are selling 1 year Adobe subscription for $100.
Okay.
That's pretty cheap.
So what's the catch?
It's
What's the
actually
catch?
there's no catch. There's no catch in this. There's literally no catch in this. It's just connections. It is
Okay.
it is going to be your own account.
Mm-hmm.
You are just going to get a gift card code, and you can
Uh-huh.
just redeem it like a normal gift card. You actually redeem anywhere. There is no catch in this. It is just connections of how actually people make it. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, I don't know how this works, but it
Mm.
is definitely out there. Like a lot of people actually
And people
use
are
it, and
using
I
it.
heard that it actually works pretty fine without any problems. And no
Awesome.
one
Awesome.
actually uses that online cloud of Adobe. No one uses that, I guess,
Yeah.
because it is not shareable, especially if you don't have Adobe account. I guess I'm not
Mm.
sure though. So Dropbox is the way to go. Dropbox Google Drive.
I'll get to the next question now.
Yeah,
The next question, very simple. What's the shooting gear that you use? The gear that you're using for
yeah.
shooting,
I use
whether it be
I
your
use
YouTube videos or client work.
I use mainly the Sony a 300. It is a good enough, camera. I can say 120 FPS in 1080p. And most of my clients actually want mostly 1080p videos, so it kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to upgrade once, maybe in the next year August or so. I do have a plan of purchasing the A7
S3.
S3. If you know, it is one of the costliest mirrorless cameras at this
But
moment,
I
which
but
money
I feel
can
it's
buy.
definitely worth it.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend that much money in an instant because I just bought the MacBook. I literally built my PC 4 months ago. That
Mm-hmm.
that was not a small investment. That costed me like 3.5 lakhs.
Your PC costed you 3.5 lakhs.
Yeah, the
Wow.
initial cost was 3 lakhs. Then I added more RAM, more storage, more lightings so that it can look good, and it resulted in 3.5 lakhs. And overall, I made a whole desk makeover. I changed the tables, I changed the
I
walls, I
saw the
changed so
video.
many
For
things.
everyone watching or listening to this podcast, just have a look at that video. So pretty. You have just the conversion, the transformation of your room and the desk setup. One of the prettiest desk setups that I have seen. Seriously, I'm not saying Indian. I'm saying just in general, one of the prettiest. Beautiful
Thanks, man.
aesthetics, bro.
Thanks, man.
Anyways,
So yeah,
adding to your camera gear, that's the camera
yeah,
that you use, a Sony
yeah.
A6300. What are
I
the lenses,
use
primary lenses that you
lens.
use?
I use the 30 mm f1.4 Sigma. I have the 16 mm f1.4 Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
I have Voltron's 18 mm. It's a manual lens. I have
Yes.
Voltron's 18 mm f1.8 lens. It is a manual lens, but
Mm-hmm.
it is quite wide. It is very
Yeah, so if
sharp.
it's 18, it's around equivalent to 24 millimeter or something.
Yeah, yeah. It is a full frame
No, it's
actually.
27.
It's a full frame lens, but of course it's in a
APS-C
crop
body.
sensor camera.
True.
So it's a wide enough. It's sharp enough. It's pretty good. And not to mention, I got it for as a client work as a brand deal. So I did not spend
Not bad.
anything on
Not bad. Good for you.
that. Yeah.
Tell me the
So
lights. Tell me the lights that you're using.
for the lights, I have the Godot's SL60W.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For
And
the
the
small
light dome and
lighting
stuff.
for the light dome, I have the Godot's light dome too. The irony being that the light dome cost more than the light itself. The light dome is Godot's P120 mm. 120 is the radius basically,
Mm-hmm.
the diameter actually, I guess, and 120 diameter. It cost $120, while the Godot's SL60 costed me around $98. So it's kind of a weird thing.
True.
But then again, in our area, other softboxes were not available which were compatible with this, so I had to go for this one. But this one is so good, you can actually go use it with the aperture ones also, aperture 120Ds and also. But SL60 is just good enough. It is bright enough. It is still there. It is turned on. It is at 60%. It is not even at 100%. It is need to be at it is something which has to be at 100% whenever I'm shooting client videos, because I usually shoot in S-Log 2 or Cine
Oh, okay.
4. S-Log 2 means 800 ISO,
Yes.
and you know sometimes I have to overexpose a bit so that I can loosen the I
Compensate.
compensate for the noise. and for Cinepho, it is a bit noisy too, so I have to increase the light a lot so that I can use a lower ISO.
Totally
So
understandable.
that's why I use a lot of light. I have one more light, which is the Amaran, the small light one, aperture
There,
Amaran.
MC or
Yeah, MC,
M9,
MC.
MC. Okay.
Yeah,
If you
I
see
have
the
tried.
blue tint in the background, that's the
Yeah,
Aperture MC right now. So yeah,
okay, okay.
I love that
I
light.
have several, local tripods, not branded, but tripods mostly are in one places. I'm not using so many times other than YouTube videos, so I don't really feel necessary to buy a good costly one. It's
Hmm.
not really necessary. I have two gimbals.
Hmm.
I have two gimbals. I actually
Which one do
got
you
a
use the
lot,
most?
many. I use the Ronin S
Okay.
mostly, but if
Hmm.
I'm traveling, I will use the 5-tech AK 2000S because it is very compact and very light, and my Sony is pretty light on its own.
Yes.
All the lenses are very light too, so there is no reason for me to use the Ronin S there because it is just a very heavy load,
Gimbal in
and
itself, for sure. True.
yeah, and there is no difference in performance in my opinion because the camera itself is very very light.
I
I
agree.
did get many opportunities for those Zion gimbals. They wanted to
Hmm.
send me. Unluckily, I did not stay in the US.
Oh,
Uh,
so
yeah,
which means that they can send you only if you're in the US.
it actually depends. Currently, they are not sending it to India anymore.
Oh, okay. This is
Uh,
sad.
yeah, a
I know that
lot
Zion
many.
Zion has their own office in India, in Delhi somewhere. I don't know
Yeah,
about
but
Kolkata, but
marketing
still.
companies mostly are based in the US or Australia, Canada, etc. They
Hmm.
just send it to there. Even if it's in the US, they can send it to Canada, but not to India because the import charges are huge.
Ah.
So
So
that's
did they approach you or you approached to them?
yeah, they approached me, but I usually tell upfront that I'm in India, so if that's not an issue, we can go forth. But yeah,
But that was an issue.
that's yeah. I actually got a lot of client works like that where I had to reject it because I was not staying in the US. I
Uh-huh.
in the desk setup tour, desk makeover. 2 days after posting that, I got offer from two big table companies, like furniture companies. They wanted to send their tables, but I did not stay in the US.
Hmm.
And I remember Asus wanted to send their laptop once for a review, but sadly I was not in the US as well. So yeah,
Damn. Which
yeah.
which really means that I should do all these reviews and stuff. I would be getting so much free gear considering the fact that I'm
Yeah,
in
it
Canada
actually
currently.
saves a lot of it actually saves a lot of money. No, actually they send up to Canada too because those are the import charges are not that much comparatively.
Different. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
almost the same. I
yeah.
agree. Awesome. So
Okay.
I guess that was the gear that you use for
Yeah.
filming your videos and stuff. Uh, you also mentioned your lights and the things that you use. One controversial question, if I have to ask, Mac versus
Yeah.
PC, what would you prefer and why?
Uh, yeah. For productivity, I would say Mac, like for my video works. For
Uh-huh.
college work, definitely PC.
Mm-hmm.
Those graphic renderings, Mac is not sufficient for those. If I ever go to 3D for video edits, like
Mm-hmm.
3D composting and stuff for video edits, PC would be a better option.
Perfect.
I know 3D a bit up to a certain extent, but it is mostly for buildings, like I mentioned before,
Perfect. Awesome.
3D buildings and stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there someday. Anyways, you're busy doing Final Cut Pro, Premiere, After Effects, and that's already a lot on your plate, I believe. So
yeah,
yeah, once probably you're a graduate, you'll be killing the 3D industry as well.
maybe, maybe.
You will do. I know. I mean, just talking to you and looking at your YouTube channel and the way the how much you work hard, I can totally say that. Anyways, I won't waste much time. This podcast is getting really long. The next question for you, bro. The next question is some of your favorite content creation related YouTube channels or any other online resources that you consume or you would like the listeners to
Yeah,
consume.
yeah. I would say before content creation, you have to be motivated. So Gary Vee all the way. That guy's energy is so much. Like if you are demotivated, just look at it videos. It is instantly going to put some energy into yourself. Those are like
Very true.
so good. Matt Diavela, creates a lot of lifestyle videos too.
Yes.
And I'll go to the filmmaking one a bit later.
Uh-huh.
Other than those, I would say tech videos, NKBHD hands down.
Ha,
uh, that guy is an inspiration. Like 8K videos for YouTube
seriously.
is a bit overkill, but he's an inspiration to a lot of people, including me.
Yeah.
Filmmaking channels, Cinecom actually creates a lot of good videos.
Yes. Cinecom.net.
But yeah, the thing about Cinecom is sometimes they create budget, but those are actually not budget, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Uh,
To
but if you
follow
look
them
at
is
the
so
fine,
difficult.
yeah, if you look at the main production level of a good like good company, then that's budget.
Yeah.
That's budget
Yeah.
for Cinecom, but not for us, not
Yes.
for the general consumer. That's a good channel to learn things. Other than those, I have a friend who used to create. Currently, he is busy with school. Lucas Erickson.
Mm-hmm.
He's not making videos for the past 8 months right now because of school, but he said that once the school is over, he's going to get back soon.
Mm-hmm.
He creates lots of good videos similar to mine. Brian Primetime, or he has actually changed the name to Brian Francisco right now. He's actually in Canada too. He lives in
Yeah.
Toronto.
He's in the same city as mine. He's in Toronto.
Yeah, yeah. He creates really cool videos.
I've seen it. Yes. Such a cool guy and very chilled out approach towards videos and stuff. I like it.
Definitely,
Really like
definitely.
it.
Definitely. Ben TK, Sam Colder. I don't think I need any kind of like introduction to these people. These are legends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt Como, Rory Kramer. These are some of the good ones out there, like
Mm-hmm.
extremely good ones. Sam Colder, definitely one of the inspiration. Like most of the people out there are some point or the other inspired by Sam Colder. This
Yes, because he
person
was a
has,
trendsetter. He started everything, I guess.
yeah, yeah, like he started those travel videos, and if you just search Sam Colder inspired on YouTube, just see how many results are going to come. That's
Yes.
just the amount of inspiration that one person has given. Going to the Indian community, Ankit Bhatia definitely has created a lot of unique videos. His way of voiceovers are pretty unique,
I agree.
definitely. Parutosh, I guess you know him, Parutosh and
Yeah. Yeah.
Parutosh Anand. Parutosh creates a lot of videos. Right now, he doesn't create that many. His Bali series was like so good. It was so good. It was with Polkit and Monish and all back in the day. It was over a year ago, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was such a good series, and I understood that he was around 9,000 subscribers. He went all the way till 80,000 from those videos only,
Mm-hmm.
and his mom's reaction videos.
Mm-hmm.
But this one single guy has achieved and inspired so many people. I must say he's one of the inspirations here.
For sure.
Other than those, Monish, Polkit, they're pretty good. They have a very different, editing styles altogether. Monish, on the other hand, you know, he's mostly storytelling with a good voiceover, energetic voiceovers, fast-paced videos. Pulkit, on the other hand, goes mostly with long form series videos like the Bali series, if you have watched it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you have pretty much watched it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, though they are pretty good. Other than those, Instagrammers, Shayon is pretty good.
Mm.
Definitely.
We are here at the
Yeah.
last section now.
Yeah.
So you answered these questions really well. Now we'll go to the last section of the podcast, which is my favorite section of the podcast, and we call it as the one or the one. Here I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer them in just one word or one sentences. One not one sentences, one sentence, and that's basically this section is about. So very quick, it's a rapid fire kind of a question answer session. So I will add a tick tick kind of a noise, not noise, a
Yeah.
background
Yeah.
song in the
That's fine.
background, so that just to create some drama and things. And that's basically it. I want you to answer like very spontaneously so that you cannot think about it. So that's the purpose of this section.
Yeah.
That's why I love this round, because I get to see the most natural or raw form of the creators. So are you
Okay.
ready for this dramatic round and this
Yeah.
beautiful and difficult round?
Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome, and it's the last one. So after this, it would be done.
Yeah.
So you can just rest and go to sleep, because I know it's very late in India right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start with the questions right now, bro. Are you
Yeah.
ready for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Let's go.
So the very first one, it's very simple. If you have to choose one focal length to shoot everything starting now onwards, like everything that you shoot, what focal length would that be?
35 hands down. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Second question. You have been given an option to either go back in time 2 years or to opt for 10 lakh rupees right now. What would you choose and why?
Uh, I am pretty happy with my past, so I choose 10 lakhs and invest it or save it for my future.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And I can totally say that you have worked like your ass off in these last 2 3 years. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to go back and do the same thing again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
There were no mistakes. I did not make many mistakes in the last 2 years, I must say. It
That's
was
awesome.
totally a calculative thing, and so far it is going pretty good.
Awesome. Sounds perfect. Next question for you, bro. Who is that one creator that you would like to spend a day with or maybe work with?
Ah, Sam Calder or Ben TK. Definitely, these two people are there on the checklist.
Oh, okay. So I
Yeah.
think you can just say Sam Coulter because my next question, I guess you're gonna answer Ben TK. I don't know if I should ask
Okay.
this question, but I'm gonna ask it right now. Who is that
Okay.
one creator that you would like to see how they work in their editing skills and why?
I would say Sam Calder for this because I have seen his editing workflows. The way he
Mm-hmm.
thinks are a bit complicated than Ben TK's. Ben TK's, I can judge Ben TK's editing. I
Yeah.
can see just by looking at Ben TK's videos three times, I can replicate it at least
Mm-hmm.
90%, 95% of it. But for Sam Calder's, no. For
Yeah.
some of the edits, not absolutely not the closest. And then he actually made one video breaking down his tutorial, and it was just the opposite of what I thought. So
Oh, okay.
definitely
Wow.
Sam Calder.
Awesome. Awesome. Next question. Your YouTube channel is disappearing in 24 hours. It's a scenario. It's not gonna happen. Okay, but you can only save one video from your channel and let it be published on the internet. What video would you save and why would you do that?
Okay.
It basically means the video that you think is the best video of yours that you have created so far.
I would say the Death Setup Tour is by far the most narrative, most visually appealing video so far. Mostly
I
others are
would agree on this.
tutorials. So
Yes.
I would say the Death Setup Tour definitely. Although it did not get that many views as of
I loved
now,
that
but
video. By the way,
but
I'm one of your biggest fans, to be honest. I see almost every single video of yours.
thank you
Almost
so much, man.
I'm not lying. I'm saying I see almost every single video that you post. Every time that you post something, which you do very often, that's why I know. I put it on the watch later thing, and as soon as I that's what I do. I put videos in watch later, and at night when I'm not able to sleep or something, I watch all the videos
Uh,
that are in my watch later. But in my watch later list, always watch your videos first.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much, man. Thank you.
because I learn something new from you every time, every single time I learn something new. So that's something which is very great about you and you sharing your secrets with the normal audiences like me and everyone. So that's what I love about your channel. Such great content.
Man. Thanks, man.
Anyways, I drifted off from the dramatic round.
No,
I should get
no
back to it.
worries. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question for you, bro. If somehow magically you get 1 lakh rupees and you are asked to spend it on a camera gear or a couple of camera gears that comes within 1 lakh, what would you buy next?
Camera there within 1 lakh. Definitely the OG 18 to 35 Sigma lens, 18 to
Okay.
35 f1.8. It is a great OG lens, I must say.
And it's beautiful
Pretty
focal
much from
range.
the start, and a good focal length and a pretty sharp lens too. So there goes like 60,000 altogether. Another 40,000 I would spend on lightings. It is pretty important, I must say. And
Do you
yes,
have a
if I'm
specific
making
light in your mind?
videos,
Do you have a specific
what?
light in your mind?
No, I would say the local ones at a
Okay.
quantity. At a quantity.
Okay. Just so that you can use your S log and all these modes at the base
Yeah,
ISO.
yeah.
Perfect. Smart, very smart, I would say. Very smart. All right. Next question for you, bro. One camera gear that you regret buying, or maybe something that you didn't buy, but you see like some creators having all these camera gears, and you're like, oh, it's a piece of shit. Why do people buy that camera gear?
Um, I will say that there are many young YouTubers who buy camera cages.
Mm-hmm.
Camera cages at starting are not really necessary.
Okay.
because camera cages are mostly when you are using a monitor and a lighting and a microphone and some other aids, some other things, etc. I see people just using the camera cage just for showing
Hmm.
off how good it looks on the camera. So I don't think when you are beginning, that's a very good investment.
I agree. I definitely agree on this for sure. All right. Next question. If you are the developer of Instagram and you have to ditch or maybe modify one feature of Instagram, what would that feature be?
Yeah, definitely increase the organic growth of what you what people usually get. People, that's a messy thing, and kind of, although now reels are a thing, but previously
Hmm.
people used to promote TikTok videos only. So just post, like if you are posting a TikTok video, don't allow posting such things. Rather allow them to post them as reels. Good,
Yes.
but
Hmm.
don't allow TikTok videos as normal videos because those get a lot of views for obvious reasons, but doesn't really make sense. Rather, tell them to put them on reels. It will make much more sense than
True.
normal one. But definitely increase the organic reach. I won't say that to remove that order of priority. I know chronological order is a thing, but there are many people who misuse it. I understand
Hmm.
why Facebook did that. So I won't say to bring back chronological order at this point.
Next question. You can go back in time and relive one day of your life. What day would you choose and why?
Definitely will be my school's batch trip. Like in school, there's a batch trip on the final year, like a
Okay.
tour kind of a thing.
Hmm.
Definitely that. It was quite memorable.
Awesome. Awesome. Next and last question of this badass session. uh, if you wouldn't be doing content creation related videos on YouTube, what else would you be creating other than that on YouTube?
Yes, definitely. I can easily create lifestyle videos, management, business management videos, finance related videos. I can create those. I can create like a lifestyle channel easily, or how productivity channel on how to actually be productive or stay productive and show different tactics of being productive. I can definitely create that.
Awesome, awesome. Probably you can create that right now. Just have another YouTube channel and work 10 more hours a day. I'm pretty sure you're already working your butt off, but still, I'm pretty sure you can do it.
Yeah, these
But
kind of
anyways,
videos take a lot of time to make. Yeah,
definitely, definitely. I cannot imagine how much time that would take.
yeah.
But yeah, bro, that was actually it for this session that we call as the one. And you answered all these questions so spontaneously and so great. It was such a fun session.
Yeah. Then it was a great session, man. It was by far the longest session, I guess, in your podcast, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have a lot of headache in editing this
Oh no, no, no.
because
I
usually
I
what I
really feel I really feel that I will just put the whole podcast up. We'll just remove the glitches where we laughed for
yeah,
no reason
yeah.
sometime. But yeah, otherwise I want the audience because you talked so many things which are very insightful and stuff. And I would definitely mention it that guys, please don't look at the 2 hour mark on the podcast, but listen to this. It is a valuable one. Pixel Sammy knows so much about you and you have so much knowledge about YouTube. So why not? Why not? People who are starting or people who are already doing YouTube will learn tons. I learned tons at least today. So that's
Thanks.
great. But
Glad
yeah,
I could help, man.
definitely,
Glad I
definitely.
could
You're very
help.
knowledgeable, and I would love to do another podcast session sometime going
Yeah,
even deep because I know that you have a lot of knowledge regarding
yeah,
YouTube and
yeah. I
content
can
creation.
I can talk hours on every topic out there because I usually when I start talking, even I guess you must have known that when I started talking, I just kept on going on and on until it reaches a point where I must stop now. But I still can go on each and every one of the topics on much deeper levels.
Perfect. Then we will definitely do another podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
Definitely.
bro. Thank you
Yeah,
so much
it's 1:30
for
now.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for doing this, and I really, really hope, as already mentioned, that we'll do the podcast, another podcast
Yeah,
sometime, and we'll go even more deep into it. Before
yeah,
ending this podcast, where can people find you on the internet, and how can they find you?
yeah, definitely. You can find me on YouTube. Pixel Sammy is my channel name. You can find me on Instagram. Pixel_Sammy is my username. Other than those, I can be reached through Facebook. I won't really recommend it. Rather, follow me and reach me out on Instagram. I'd rather, follow you and reply to you there as well.
Perfect. Sounds awesome. All right, folks. Links for all the social media channels, as mentioned by Pixel Samy, will be there in the show notes. So please check them out and look for his stuff. If you already are not following him and his stuff, spoiler alert, it's awesome. It is not the content that he creates is just great. It's awesome. A lot of free stuff there. Uh, Please don't forget to share this podcast, by the way, with your friends and folks, as that will help like reaching more people. And it was a very valuable one, I would say. And more people will be able to see this podcast, and more people, more views, which means the podcast will become better, which means more people, more creators would say yes for coming to the podcast. I reach out to a lot of them. Not a lot of people sometimes reply, and even if they do reply, they're like, oh, we are busy and whatnot. So now it depends in your hands if you want more people to come on the podcast and more guests to come on the podcast. But yes, that was it for this episode. Thank you so much, Pixel Samy, again. We will
Thanks
see
for
you.
having me, man.
No. Pleasure. And I will see you next week. Not we will. Probably we'll see you later again. But I will see you in the podcast next week again. Tab tak ke liye bye bye. Take care. Salam and namaste.